Thanks for trusting Equinoxe Television. We're live from Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city, Equinoxe Central News Desk. Christians of the Presbyterian Church in Tanfong, in Bafut of the Mezam, in the conflict-hit northwest region of Cameroon, have worshipped in their church for the very first time in 1 month after the gun incident on Sunday that saw the church pastor severely wounded and a Christian woman shot and killed during worship. This story and others will be yours in this edition of the news. Thanks for trusting Equinoxe Television. Thanks for choosing to listen to information on Equinoxe. We are live from Equinoxe Central News Desk in Douala, Cameroon's economic capital city. This is the primetime news on the #1 television channel across Cameroon. We begin with traditional information to say that Nabil Mbombo Njoya, 28-year-old, is now the paramount ruler of the Bamon in the west region of Cameroon. He was officially presented to the people of the Bamon dynasty on Sunday. He takes over from his father that has been king of the Bamon dynasty for 29 years. Nabil Mbombo Njoya, it should be noted, is a graduate from the National Advanced School of Administration and Magistracy in Cameroon. Innocent as in the following report tells us who is the man, Nabil Mbombo Njoya, on whom the destiny of the Bamon people now lies.
A desperate and uncontrollable crowd at the Fuman Royal Palace Arena to see their newly enthroned king, Nabil Mbombo Njoya. Pushed behind by security elements, no one is ready to give way as they are eager to feast their eyes. Presentation of 28-year-old Nabil Mbombo Njoya to the population by the kingmakers aroused hailing shouts from the crowd. On Monday, October 11th, more traditional rites are performed on him at Sambango, one of the sacred grounds in Bamoun. His presentation was an event no one wanted to miss.
Tous les Bamous se sont mobilisés pour venir se tenir ici alors que ça n'a jamais eu lieu.
Le roi qui vient d'être installé maintenant a vaincu tous les moisselons de toutes les maisons. Et c'est pour cette raison que nous sommes là, nous sommes venus soutenir.
Nabil Mbombo Njoya was born on August 9, 1993, a year after enthronement of his father in 1992. He is a graduate from ENAM and currently Divisional Chief of Administrative and Juridical Affairs in the South Governor's Office. Nabil replaces his father, Ibrahim Mbombo Njoya, who reigned for 29 years.
The official presentation of Nabil Mbombo Njoya by the Nkong, that is the kingmakers of the Bamon dynasty, marks an official end to the reign of Sultan Ibrahim Mbombo Njoya, who is now of late, and the coming into power of Nabil Mbombo Njoya. We are closely following up developments in Fumban, the seat of the Bamon dynasty, and we'll be coming back to that subsequently. And I will take you to our lead story to say that Christians of Tanfon is a village in Bali in the Mezam division of the conflict-hit northwest region of Cameroon. Christians of the Presbyterian Church of that locality have worshipped in a section of the church for the very first time in 1 month since the Sunday gun incident that saw the church pastor shot, severely wounded. A woman was also shot and killed during worship in the church, and that sparked a wave of reactions, mixed reactions in Cameroon, mainly on social media. Smart Njikangebe tells us more in the following report.
On Sunday, August 22, 2021, Christians of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, in Tanfong, Bali, were caught in the midst of the ongoing crisis in the Anglophone regions. In the heart of a church service, bullets raided the church premises, causing the death of a Christian, Madame Grace Titalabit, while Reverend Pastor Voma Simon Manto was wounded. After the sad incident of August 22, 2021, threats from alleged separatist fighters made the church not to be operational. 1 month later, a section of PCC in Tamfueng, Bali, welcomed Christians for the first time on October 10, 2021. A church service which was special.
But the turnout shows that people were really hunger and thirst for the word. And their turnout is very encouraging. I could see the joy in church, the explosion in worship, shows that people really wanted to come together to worship God.
As you can find with those who are around me, showing a lot of joy for praising God on where the gospel started.
The first church service after 1 month took place in a building within the premises of PCC in Tamfueng, Bali, with activities to open the main church where the shooting occurred lined up for this week.
There will be fasting and prayer starting Thursday, which will end on Sunday with Holy Communion and also cleansing of the church through prayers and anointing of individuals.
It was at PCC in Tamfueng, Bali, where the gospel started in the grass field. It is there that the Presbyterian Church of Cameroon gained its independence.
If you are born in the 80s in Cameroon, you should know the story of Kongsamba. Kongsamba was referred to as one of the largest cities in Cameroon, with interesting stories of Kongsamba told kids across Cameroon, most of them in primary school. And Kongsamba today has become a complete shadow of itself. Kongsamba today is an abandoned city. The Kongsamba main market is an example of how Kongsamba has become, with a deplorable road network, very old and abandoned infrastructures. The Kongsamba market do not have toilets, and the traders say that the fate of Kongsamba lies in the hands of those who are responsible to change in Kongsamba. They are blaming municipal and administrative officials for the very negative and regrettable image that presents Kongsamba today. Equinoxe once again.
The Kongsamba Central Market in the Mungo division of the Little Wari region. A big and beautiful name, but only the traders better know what is in the pretty shoe.
Même toilet for peace, see place. Place market na not for market.
N'importe de toilette. On se défend comme ça là.
A central market without a toilet. They pay those around to use their toilets. Potable water is absent, with the lone tap here rather serving as a monument. Roads pose another problem in terms of transportation of goods in and out of the Kongsamba Central Market.
See road for enter market, you know, they say you even come from Kongsamba Market, not even noticing on Kongsamba Market.
Traders say the market has been partitioned into two fractions, with business booming at the other end, while it's slow where the roads are degraded.
C'est comme si c'est coupé de côté si les gens ne passent pas rapidement. Tout le marché est de ce côté.
She says drivers avoid this other side of the market because of the poor state of the roads that can destroy their vehicles.
Peut-être l'état de la route parce que les voitures n'aiment pas descendre ici là.
They deplore action of the council authorities, who send agents to collect money from them but do nothing to provide the market pipe-borne water, good roads and a toilet.
Les gars de ticket, ils viennent prendre l'argent chaque jour.
Council authorities are implored to see into these troubles in the Kongsamba Central Market.
The indomitable Lions of Cameroon have defeated the challenges, psychological trauma they had leaving Cameroon to play in an away leg match counting for the qualifiers of the Qatar World Cup 2022. The indomitable Lions, who are supposed to have left Cameroon on Saturday to face Mozambique in a match in Morocco, finally left yesterday under very difficult conditions. They had no aircraft to take them out of Cameroon, and it took serious negotiations for the indomitable Lions, defenders of the green, red and yellow flag, to leave Cameroon. A neighboring country reportedly even offered to help to take the Lions of Cameroon to play their encounter. However, it was a victory in favor of Cameroon. Simatin Jikangebe takes us back to the challenges faced by the men's national football team of Cameroon over the weekend.
And that's the end of this clash here. The final score, Cameroon 3, Mozambique 1.
After their thrilling win over the Mambas of Mozambique, 3-1 in a Day 3 match of the qualifiers for the FIFA World Cup, Qatar 2022, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon were trapped for several hours back in the country before finally leaving for Tanger in Morocco Sunday evening. The boys of coach Antonio Conceição da Silva Oliveira, who were supposed to be in Morocco since Saturday, were spotted having a training session at the annex field of Japoma. The indomitable Lions had 2 failed flights because the first flight from Cameco never came before the players denied the second plane proposed by Cameco. We already had our travel schedule more than a week ago because all had been planned. As to our journey, the company called us to alert us about a delay due to sanitary problems linked to COVID-19.
Pour nous dire qu'il y avait un retard, qu'il y avait des problèmes sanitaires liés au Covid de l'équipage, et que le vol devait être reporté dans la soirée aventurière.
Another departure time was given with the hopes that the indomitable Lions will arrive in Morocco on time to stay away from being sanctioned. But again, it failed. This situation has once again brought today the poor management which continues to disturb the national football selections. 1 year back, the national team was humiliated in Maputo after a match with Mozambique as the players were stranded for several hours sitting in the airport of Mozambique because of a failed flight still from Camelco.
However, the indomitable Lions of Cameroon succeeded in giving a 1-0 spanking to Mozambique this afternoon in Morocco. They are, however, on a good footing as far as the race to Qatar 2022 is concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up is Talking Points, still with Equinoxe Television. On Talking Points today, we're receiving a lady. We're receiving the national president of the youth wing and the spokesperson of the UPC political party in Cameroon. She is Mba Akwe Nadine. Nadine, thanks for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, Mr. Fomi Armstrong Sander. Good evening to all your televiewers. Good evening to all the militants of the UPC political party. A special good evening to all the youth wing. We call them the JDC, Jeunesse Démocratique du Cameroun. It is a youth wing that was created in the year 1953 by Nobel to be able to continue the fight that was being handicapped during the period of colonization of France in Cameroon.
When you make mention of Nobel, those who know the history of Cameroon will be fast to think about the struggle for the independence of Cameroon and the fight that was led by UPC and other, Nobel and other leaders of the Union de Population du Cameroon. That's the political party. Now, Cameroon that has moved from one stage to the other and to what we're seeing today. What has actually really been the position of the UPC at a time when a portion of the country, the northwest and southwest regions, is facing a serious security challenge, call it a political crisis, and most other political parties in Cameroon have been very vocal as far as finding lasting solutions to the crisis is concerned. We've barely seen the UPC active as far as the Anglophone crisis is concerned.
Mr. Sander, we cannot talk of Cameroon history without talking about the UPC. We all know that Nyobe is one of the founding fathers of the reunification and the independence we are enjoying today. That was sabotaged in 1972 with a new constitution that was changed from the federal state to the Republic of Cameroon, which the Anglophones are now requesting for their autonomy. Well, as for the UPC, we all know that they are the founding fathers of this independence and reunification unification. So we are not in accord with what we call the separatist fighters today, because actually we want a united Cameroon, which the terms of the Fumban Conference been respected. So I think that the UPC, that is a party that wants the emancipation of all Cameroonians, will barely go back to the 1961 constitution, which is federation.
That's the stand of the official stand of their political party.
That's the stand of our party, because.
But your national president, you call it the National Secretary General.
Secretary General.
That's how he is called. He made a very disturbing outing recently when we had the attacks on a convoy in parts of the northwest region. Your national president came out to say that it was time for the president to reinforce, to step up the military option chosen as far as the crisis is concerned. At a time when most political parties were like, no, haven't adopted the military solution to attack the crisis in north and southwest regions, was a wrong decision.
As the constitution of the UPC, the Secretary General is the general overseer of the party, and perhaps his stand might be, I can say, emotional at that moment. You know, when we heard of the 15 soldiers that were killed in Bamenda, and recently the envoy of the Prime Minister was being attacked, he just made an outing to tell the separatist fighters to drop their arms.
And at the same time calling on the president to reinforce the military strategy.
Actually, like that's what he said. That's what he said. But actually, I am taking the posture of the national president of the youth wing, which is an autonomous party. Okay, the GDC is autonomy in their ideas and their acting. So I believe that my own say in this thing is, I do not believe in the military inclusive method being used by the President Biya, for me, because actually you cannot talk of a problem when you are not one of the people that are implicated immediately in the problem.
Okay, you feel like your president made that statement, or your Secretary General made that statement because he's actually not an Anglophone. He probably might not be feeling the pinch of what is ongoing.
For me, Armstrong Sanda, you cannot feel the pain more than someone who is putting on the shoe. Okay, I can take that best posture to explain what we are feeling. I am from this zone. I am from Santa. I know what we are feeling. Okay, so I can be the best person to explain what's happening and what are the stands to be taken. Because since 2016, the government has included the military inclusive method. Till date, it has failed. We saw how the Grand National Dialogue or the Major National Dialogue, all of the terms are not really that efficient, okay? We cannot say they have failed totally, but we can say they are not really efficient, because this Grand National Dialogue or Major National Dialogue was being organized to be able to stop the Anglophone crisis. But today we're already on the 5th year. Nothing has changed. Yet we saw how the Minister of Defense, Bedi Asomo, who spent 2 weeks in Bamenda, telling us about the strategies of these separatist fighters that are increased, okay, and he also told us the weapons they are using is really it has changed, okay,
yes,
meaning
sophisticated weapons. At one point he went to say that they are in some sort of accord with some external groups and individuals.
Mr. For me, Armstrong Sanda, I cannot really blame these guys in the bushes, okay? Because these guys are in the bushes, and I don't believe that they can go to the boundaries of Cameroon to collect the arms. And I tell you, Cameroon has a high rate of security, okay? Our military and all the other security forces we have are being trained by expertise from Israel and other, well-known countries that are good for war, okay? So we cannot say the other and assume the other thing, because actually these boys are in the bushes. Now the problem is those guns that is being pronounced as being sophisticated. We all heard the declarations from the Minister of Defense, Bedi Asomo. He said those guys, their weapons are sophisticated and the method they use are the things have evolved. Meaning there is a middleman that helps this guy. We saw how the Minister of Territorial Administration went to Nigeria.
Middleman, like within Cameroon?
Within Cameroon, and I cannot really say within Cameroon or out of Cameroon, but I can say there is a middleman. These boys cannot have the capacity or the embargo to go to the boundaries of Cameroon and collect those guns. There is an insider that is working like a middleman that helps those guys to collect the guns and give them in the bushes.
If the middle people are within Cameroon, for example, is that another proof that many people are okay with the cause of these guys in the bush?
Mr. For me, Armstrong Sanda, the Anglophone crisis has become an economic game, okay? We cannot deny that, because I, for once, I know that the Cameroon government masters the problem more than you and I. We heard how the President Biya, he went to France and he said he has tried to assimilate the Anglophones and he didn't. It means there is a problem we all master, and I believe he masters the problem more than we all do. Because this problem didn't start in 2016, Armstrong, okay? It started in 1972 when our constitution was changed.
There is, yes, we come into that. There is a point you've made, and it looks like if there are some people that are working openly or at night with these people, is not necessarily because they buy the cause. It's also because of some economic reasons. And
that's
gains.
What I said. Actually, it has become a war of an economic gain to so many.
But now, without interrupting your analysis, I just want to come back a little bit to the position of your political party. You are a spokesperson and the national president of the youth wing of this political party.
Yes.
The fact that your national secretary general thinks differently and you think differently, does that go to explain the differences, the division or the dividedness of your political party? Many have been accusing UPC as a very divided political party.
Mr. Fomi Armstrong Sanda, UPC is a party that promotes what we call democracy, okay? You have freedom of expression, you have freedom of the way you can think and act. In the UPC, we cannot say we are divided, where we have different methods of getting what we want, which is the presidency, okay? We can have different methods, different way of acting, and different visualizing differently. But what matters is our what do we want? Okay, the UPC is a united party. I cannot accept with you on this platform.
If you cannot agree on a common position on key issues like the crisis rocking the northwest and southwest, that of the far north, the economic situation of the country, if a party as a structure cannot all agree on a common position, how can they push forward for possible solutions, for solutions in the direction that they want?
Well, as I previously said, the UPC is a party that promotes democracy, okay? I, for one, I take the posture on this, your platform, as the national president of the youth wing, we call the GDC. We have autonomy, okay? And besides, you cannot feel the pain of something which you are not included. Because I am from this region, Mr. Fomi Armstrong Sanda, and I know what's happening there.
That is good. That is good. Are you, in essence, saying that most of the people in Cameroon who sit from afar and try to analyze the issue in the north and southwest regions of Cameroon, in most cases get it wrong because they are not from these regions and they really are not feeling it like we English-speaking Cameroonians are feeling, or call it Anglophones are feeling?
Actually, Mr. Fomi Armstrong Sanda, I was on a platform yesterday and the same question I was being asked. And the truth is, you know, most of the inhabitants of the other 8 regions, okay, they do not really feel the pain the way we do. Because if you aren't really implicated in something directly, you would not know where the shoe pains, okay? I am from this region. I cannot go to my village, okay? My children cannot go to school. And these regions were once known for their ability of giving good and quality education. But today, all these legacies have turned to ashes. Those guys in Yaoundé, those guys in the north, or perhaps in the other 8 regions, they cannot explain the problem the way you and I can. So it is a possibility that he might just be reacting, being sentimental. But I am reacting as someone who knows the pinch, really where the problem is.
That's to say that the necessary pressure needed for the crisis to end, the necessary energy and strategies needed for the crisis to end should come more from Anglophones, be they elites or those at the local levels, because they are feeling it more than any other person. I mean, those coming from the other parts of Cameroon. In the same way, probably members of government, and of course the president of the Republic of Cameroon, who is not from the northwest or the southwest region of Cameroon, is not willing to accept the proposals of many other political parties and people like you, because he is not feeling it the way you and I are.
Mr. Fomi Armstrong Sanda, when this problem began in 2016, we had the other inhabitants of the 8 regions telling us that we are minute. You cannot, a drop of water in an ocean doesn't make anything. But today it is a national problem, okay? And I believe that for this problem to be solved, we need to rally all the forces from the 10 regions for us to solve this problem, because it is national, okay? Today we have commodities of basic necessities that are so expensive. So it doesn't touch only the people people from these two regions. It touches all Cameroon, and I believe it is time for these people to remove that mentality in their head, saying that it is not our problem. We do not care about you guys. We need to rally powers together and solve the problem.
Thank you very much, Ba Akwe Nadine. You are the national president of the youth wing of the UPC political party and also the spokesperson of that political party. We are grateful that you took time out to discuss with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much for your keen attention. We urge you to stay in the company of interesting programs on Equinoxe.